Hello everybody, we're here today with Nicholas Cope and we're in Avebury. And Nick, you brought us here down to this special secret location near Silbury Hill. Can you explain why?
Yes, well, we've just arrived at a place I've known for 30 years called Swallowhead Spring. And according to Michael Dames, who wrote the Silbury Treasure, this whole of this complex here is because of this spring. And it's the source of the River Kennet. The River Kennet flows that way, and leading up to it is the River Winterbourne, which is on the right here. Now you cross over a bridge on the main, I don't know what the road is, and it claims that it's the River Kennet. It isn't. It's the River Winterbourne. And this is the only occasion in the world where you have a spring entering an already existing river, and it changes the name of the river. So it's the winter. We'll go down there and walk in it. I'll take my socks off. And the river becomes the Kennet from this point, where the spring is beyond the cracked willow over there.
Over there, right.
And it dribbles down either side of it and enters the Winterbourne and becomes the Kennet.
Excellent. So
I don't know whether I should talk about the source of the word Kennet.
let's do that
Should
now
I?
then.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
go on then.
The Kennet comes from a very, very ancient word, cunt, which is the feminine orifice, which is the spring. So it's a very, very ancient word. So we will go there now. We will walk down to the Winterbourne and Kennet joining area.
Excellent. So this word's become vulgarised over time, but
Yeah,
originally it was...
it's not a word you can use normally, and even I feel bad just saying it. But it's kind of that word is a very, very ancient word. It's supposed to be Neolithic. Salakey Farm on the Isles of Scilly, where I used to live, is in the Guinness Book of Records as being the oldest place name in Britain. Also Neolithic, but Salakey is not a rude word now. But cunt is. It's silly, but it's the way it is.
It's the English for you.
Yeah.
Right, well let's go down and explore
down and
then.
have a
Thank
look.
you. Hello, so
Okay.
we're here down at the little bit of the stream.
So I'm in the Kennet now. Lovely. I've got hot feet. So I'm going to walk towards where the spring enters, up here.
Okay.
So there's a little area here where water comes in. It's quite damp here. And there's another area here. So now I'm in the Winterbourne. I've got 1 foot in the Kennet and 1 foot in the Winterbourne here because the spring is coming into the water here. This is a very, very important pre-Christian site.
So when you say it's pre-Christian, we don't actually know when it all was first used, do
it must
we?
have been here when Avebury was built because, there are lots, it's a very wet area, Avebury, but this is a major spring. It only flows in April and May, so it's a springtime kind of flow.
Right, okay. So the rest of the year is just
Completely
the
dry.
dry, and then suddenly,
Yeah.
no special day, suddenly
No,
pops.
it regularly just comes back, whatever the weather.
That's weird.
Yeah. Quite often, this is very unusual. I've been here in July and August before, and where are we now? What, 16th of July?
Yep.
Something like that. I've been here this time of year, and this has been completely dry. So I don't know whether that means there's been more rain. The Winterbourne actually skirts around Silbury Hill.
Does it go, so would it go under the road to Silbury Hill?
Yeah, it goes under that road, going past Silbury Hill, and it comes from, essentially, it comes round Windmill Hill. There's two streams that come round Windmill Hill. The Winterbourne comes down, turns into the Kennet here. But the confluence of the two, which is like a V, is a very important place as well. You should go there, Debbie, because there's a bridge and you can see it very well,
Right, I will be doing that.
if you can find it.
Part of the adventures.
It's always good to get your feet wet, I think.
Here by the lovely willow.
Yeah, this is a cracked willow. So this whole section here is just cracked off the main bit of tree. Actually, conveniently creating a lovely arch for the spring to trickle down through.
Ah, so the spring, when it does rise, would come down this way and flow down to the river.
This section of the spring that comes out here. But the main trunk area is beyond the tree. So I won't say that again. You won't have any viewers if I keep saying that. So this is, a lot of people visit this. It's a pre-Christian site. You get a lot of people, you know, offering things, and which I do. I bought a shell, which I've had for like 30 years, and I'm going to put it in the tree. So let's go and have a look at the spring.
Okay, so Nicholas, we're here up at the sort of in a corner apex, and you're saying this is where the spring would normally come from.
Yeah, this is the normal. This is actually normally the secondary spring. The primary spring is under here somewhere. It's a little bit overgrown, which I don't really understand. Normally it's visible. But normally in April and May this is gushing water. Sometimes just trickling, sometimes gushing. But not in the middle of July.
So it comes out, it just starts one day in April,
yeah,
lasts for 2 months,
yeah, or less
and then
than
just
that
fades
even.
away.
It just lasts for a month or so, and then the water sort of stops running, as it has now. So we're sort of a couple of months after it started running, stopped running.
And you were saying about this area being like an apex.
We're in a little kind of sunken horseshoe area, which has been worn away basically by the spring. I presume every kind of, you come back 20 years and that will be a foot further away. Gradually it kind of erodes, but not that much. Michael Dames in his book Silbury Treasure talks about that because he thinks that this whole complex was here because of all the springs. They had easy access of water. This wouldn't have moved very far from Neolithic times. It wouldn't have moved much further from where the cracked willow is, maybe 30 feet over that way. So it wouldn't have moved very much. So we're actually in probably one of the most genuine pre-Christian visited sites. And it really, perhaps, may not have been very different. Might have had some different kinds of trees or snails or whatever, but effectively we're experiencing now what we would have experienced thousands of years ago, apart from the main road.
Yes, it's been rather noisy behind
and
us.
aeroplanes and helicopters.
So do you think that they put any, do we know of any stones or standing stones or circles in this bit?
There are a few sarsen stones dotted around. I don't know whether there's a coherent complex of stones here. I don't think there is. They could be just what the farmers moved from the field and just thrown over here. I don't think anyone kind of really knows that.
Right.
But there are sarsen stones just behind you, actually, just dotted around. You can't
in
really
here,
see them.
Hidden in this bit.
Yes, and also because of the stinging nettles, it's probably not very wise to kind of trawl through it.
And we have Silbury Hill is just over there, yonder.
Yeah, Silbury Hill and West Kennet are very close. But I think it's important not to publicise the precise location of Swallowhead Spring. It's a very, very sacred site, and it does get visitors, as you've seen by the tree, with all the offerings. And I probably wouldn't be very happy giving a precise location, because you can find out where it is if you're really that interested. You really can. But it's on most maps it's not marked.
No, I agree with you. For those that really want to, they'd be dedicated enough to look,
exactly.
do the work.
And those people would know where to look, and would know, and would have been here anyway, I'm sure. So, but it's not really on the tourist trail, whereas Silbury, West Kennet, Avebury is. But this is part of it. This is a very, very important, kind of a liminal part of it, because it's not really known about. So it's, I find it very beautiful here. And it's good to come. I know we're here talking, but you know, to come on your own and just to sit under the cracked willow, perhaps, or just sit here, is a nice experience. I've done it many times and just sat here. So
That's perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nick.
It's fine. I've only ever seen 1 or 2 people here before in 30 years I've been coming here. So
It's beautiful. Thanks for bringing us here.
for a long time, who would move a stone like that?
Yeah, like how, you know, that's
I mean,
far too
why
heavy
would they
to
move
move.
it when there are other stones all around anyway, you know?
We've got another stone hidden in here because it's so overgrown. Do you think it'd be this overgrown in the winter time?
No, you'd be able to see them very easily in the winter, and I think there's another couple here as well. Interestingly, the water from the spring flows between the 2 stones we've just seen.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, they would do, wouldn't they? I've just realised that I've done this in portrait rather than landscape. It doesn't matter.